Welcome to Love at First Mic with Demi York and Alex Alvarez.
Yeah, we've had a busy morning. I think it's been a great morning. Very productive. We've seen a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I love being on Sunset Boulevard.
It's so bonkers.
Yeah, there's just anything and everything can happen did happen this morning.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings us back to Love Actually. How are you, Debbie?
The horrors persist, but so do I.
And I am a horror.
Or a hewer. I'm okay. Yeah.
Vibing.
Yeah,
thriving. Holidays are coming up.
Holidays are coming up.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. And I don't know. My tattoo is healing up really nicely. Shout out Sean Williams. Amazing work. I love him. Everyone should get a tattoo from him. His Instagram is Sean from Texas. I love him. I have been very busy, very sleepy. I'm always sleepy. I would love to just sleep.
Me too.
And play Baldur's Gate 3 for the rest of my life.
I was so jealous because after reading your text yesterday that you were playing BG3, I immediately updated my PlayStation.
You were like, I actually need that now.
Yeah.
It's so fun because like I love Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a child. And like I think that like anything where like you and your friends have to get together and you're all using your imagination together, especially like if you have friends that aren't creatives.
Right.
Who are also like joining in and are like learning how to improv and learning how to do things. I think it's really fun. And so having a video game that combines my love of video games for my love with D&D.
Oh yeah.
The conflict, like if you like a quick conflict, do not download Baldur's Gate 3. A fight takes like 2 hours. Because you have like all these rolls. You have to do dice roll.
You're saying that I can say, oh, I'm playing a video game right now, and it's going to take me 2 hours just to do one thing?
Yeah.
That's my cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah. As an anxious person, I love difficult things. So yeah, it kind of works out.
I'm a
best
side quest guy personally.
Oh yeah.
I will.
I don't care about the main story as much as I love the little side quests.
Yeah. You mean NPC number 12 has a very fulfilling backstory that I would
love to hear all about it.
Yeah, let me read through the 5 hours of text.
Oh, this game is so immersive. And they got me, I downloaded the trial. My brother was like, I got you that game. Why don't I was like, well, maybe I want to exchange it for something else. Mm-hmm. Maybe I won't like it. Sold.
Yeah.
First 2 hours of the trial, I was like, oh, this is an amazing game.
Nice.
It took me so long just to develop my character. Oh. Because you have to pick, your class.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
You got to pick your race. And then you got to get all of your proficiencies.
Oh, yeah.
My girl, I kept the name that they gave me. It's Tav. I was like, dope. She's cool as shit.
Yeah.
I'm an elf druid. Oh. A high elf druid. Okay, excuse me.
You ever see those arguments sometimes when like the female body armor is much less in video games, but it does the same amount of protection? Mm-hmm. I don't know why. That's always tickled me.
There's so much nudity in this game.
Oh, nice.
When you go to sleep, you're like naked.
Makes sense. I'm mostly naked.
And so like you get to mod your genitals when you're building your character.
Didn't Cyberpunk also do that too?
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't played that. Have you played that?
I haven't played that
yet.
I know
the new update's out and it's fantastic and everything. Yeah. Okay.
But I love this game. I'm obsessed with it.
When you're not gaming, what else are you doing? When you do have time, because I know you don't.
I'm writing a book. I don't know why I decided I wanted to do that, but I did want to do it, and so I've been writing it. Instead of doing a script for once in my life, I'm going to write a book.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see if it actually ever
the memoirs of Moose
is read by anyone.
The memoirs of Moose.
Yeah,
I'd read it.
Honestly, she'd be a cute kids book.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't she just that little face?
I mean, did you see how attentive she was at breakfast?
She
was just like, there's food everywhere, to be fair.
Yeah.
But she was also very enjoying.
She was just really excited to be there. Yeah. She was just like, yo, hey.
My dog, I don't know if I told you, I got a puppy. I have a puppy. Mm-hmm. His name is Terry.
Terry.
Yeah. And
Scary Terry.
He is.
Oh my God.
Terry Godzilla.
Okay.
Scary Terry, Terry the Terrier.
It's my favorite
Tiny
Rick and Morty
Terry.
episode of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
The Terry Flap song.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my gosh. Big tangent there. But yeah, Terry has, for some reason, we're really working on his his anxiety separation stuff right now.
I was about to say, I'm still working on my social anxiety, and I'm not a child.
Freudian slip. But no, so Terry will do this thing. He'll see me leave. And I do all the tricks. I'll put the keys somewhere else. I'll like make noise to get him ready that I'm leaving. And then I leave and he darts at the glass door head first. He's going to get himself concussed at this rate.
Or he's going to go through the fucking door. He's like, boom. What have you been up to besides Terry? And prepping his anxiety for the real world.
Prepping my anxiety for the real world. Cheers. Honestly, it's just been busy. It's just been busy. Work, and then some more work.
As Rihanna once said, wank, 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 wank.
Yeah.
I love and hate that song all at the same time. Great album though. Yeah. Wonderful album.
But yeah, no, it's just been busy. As we get into the holidays, we're talking about our next episodes already. And then of course, it's LA. I don't even know where to begin. It's a whole episode on of its own.
Los Angeles we got to talk about that book one day. Los Angeles Plays Itself.
Ooh.
There's a book. For those of you who don't read, there's a book, and it's more of a coffee table book, but it shows all of the places that Los Angeles uses to be other places.
Go on.
So like it'll show you like, oh, this is actually Chinatown in LA. It's not Chinatown in New York, or it's not Chinatown in San Fran. And like it'll show you like different streets. Like in the Warner Brothers lot, there's actually a Midwestern like alley. And there's all sorts of stuff, and it kind of breaks down all the different sets, what they're used in. LA Playing Itself.
Got it.
So it's like all the different locations that are really popular.
That's so cool.
In Los Angeles. It's like one of my favorite books, and I give it to people who love film who don't live here all the time.
Oh, I love that.
It's like it's my go-to gift.
Man, I'm gonna have to move.
Yeah, move. I'll get you that book. But then I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, you want to come back? But
yeah, we gotta shoot this thing.
Yeah, I do love Christmas.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
And I also love Hanukkah. I live in a very Jewish neighborhood.
I'm learning. Sorry, not to cut you off there, but like I've been a big fan of all holidays. I always want to learn about holidays. I always thought I'd be a household that celebrated multi holidays, and this was my first Hanukkah. So sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I like every year I try and give like my Jewish neighbors that live in my building, like I will like bake them a bread, or I'll bake them something for Hanukkah.
Oh, rad.
Because whenever I'm stressed, I love to bake, and holidays stress me the fuck out because like I love my family. My family is very difficult. And so I don't like to go home for the holidays. Instead, I do a thing here in LA where I have a misfit Christmas.
Love it.
And I invite all my friends who don't have anywhere to go for the holidays. Yeah. And I just go, you can come to my house. And I cook a huge dinner.
I saw the menu.
Oh, it's large.
Yeah. I was like, wow, you're doing all that by yourself. Good thing it's at your place.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have a schedule.
Yeah.
I create an itinerary. That's how fucking crazy I am. I have an itinerary for what I need to cook, what day I need to cook it.
At the times
I need to cook it. Yeah. Luckily, Christmas Eve this year is on a Sunday.
You plenty of time.
So I have so much time.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up at 8 a.m. and then I start. And then I do my breads and everything the day before Christmas Eve. Oof. And then I go to the flower market Christmas Eve.
Got it.
And then I do all my floral arrangements because
you go out.
You can't not love flowers at Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big, see, now that I have a dog though, I'm a big like poinsettia.
Yeah.
I love the
very
look.
Poisonous.
Yeah, but
very poisonous.
So my neighbor has one. Luckily the squirrels took it out already, but yeah, I do.
You can get a fake one.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I have 5 plants in my patio that are low sunlight plants. They're all dead. But yeah, I'm trying.
Effort is there.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. I water them.
I want to make me and my hot glue gun. We're going to have a lot of fun on Christmas morning because I want to make like a string garland out of red, white, carnations and holly.
I'm into it. Yeah.
Because why not? Why not add something else to the plate that is absolutely fucking ridiculous?
I would like to. I wish I could be there. As you know, I'm going to your neck of the woods. I'm going back to
Ohio.
Yeah.
It is a real place.
I heard. I hear everyone says the same thing to me. Like, oh, you got out. Like that's like.
Yeah.
The adage.
That's literally all of LA is from Ohio.
You know, it's funny. I'm starting to see more of that, or at least notice more of that.
Yeah. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll literally be out at a bar and someone will be like, oh yeah, I'm from Ohio. I'll be like, what part? Where are you from?
Mm-hmm.
What part? Like, what kind of Ohio are you? Because Ohio is like, we have the 3 C's, you know, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati.
Good to know.
And so they kind of go down in a line.
I'm going to Shergwin Falls. I don't know. It's where Calvin and Hobbes is based out of.
What is that by? Do you know what airport are you flying into? Love that you don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we travel in a very different way.
Now you know.
We travel in a very different way.
I didn't want to upset you before we started this episode, but it seems like I have. But my bags will get packed the morning of.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
the guy you probably swipe left on if that was on my profile.
I have to deep clean my entire house before I leave for a trip.
Yeah.
And then I wash all my sheets. I wash all my comforters. I make it so when I come home, my bedroom is an oasis because I've just been traveling and I want my bedroom to feel cozy. I get myself a new book to leave on my nightstand. So when I get home, I can light a candle and read a book and ignore people.
I love it.
For like 2 hours at least.
Why does that sound like a dream?
Because you can do it too.
No, I can't. I really can't. Trust me. I have a book. Okay, so I like to read as well. I'm a slow reader.
Oh.
I'm a slow reader. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Just I like to take my time. And obviously, I have the same book. You probably know where this is going. I've got the same book I've been reading for probably the better part of like 6 months on my nightstand.
What book?
It's called Red Mars by Kim Stanley Robinson.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, I've switched to other books and I've read other stuff. I read a lot of comics and
That's
stuff.
why it takes forever to read it.
Yeah, because I'm reading all this other stuff. I'm a big like article person. I love reading what's in like the New Yorker, the Atlantic.
I read the newspaper every morning.
Yeah,
I like to be educated.
Yeah, I just like to know what's going on in the
obscure world of the world. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, the New Yorker is a favorite, though.
Yeah, the Atlantic. And then, of course,
Support print journalism.
I'm still playing Daily Crossword. However, that part is electronic.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, qualify killing that many trees. So when I... New York Times, I get electronically. And I also love their cooking edition. I pay extra for the cooking. Because I love that shit. I listen to NPR in the morning.
I was going to say, go to KCRW. I think you can get the package it comes with.
I think so.
I should just do that.
Yeah. What are we doing? Man. But I'm a huge crossword bitch.
Okay.
I love the New York Times crossword. And I love that it's an app. And I love that it times me. And I love that it makes me feel stupid all the time.
I don't love that sentence, but yeah. I get it.
I love it. I think I want to feel stupid. I want to have to keep learning.
I just like the sense of completion at the end of it, you know?
Sounds like a man.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
I'm used to not finishing.
Well, I'm great. Which is like, you know.
You came, right, babe? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm
gonna go take a shower. Cool. I'll be getting my vibrator out of the chest now.
Great. I have 5 minutes.
Great. I have 5 minutes that I need with myself.
Jeez Louise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's your current situation.
You know, it hasn't been. It's fine. it's fine.
Talk about like, well, I mean, it seems like we're getting into like some core partner things already. Naturally, we've already found ourselves kind of coming back home, and you know where we last left off.
Okay, so we last left off. We were talking about Aurelia, and I'm going to reiterate her sister. Best side character that's only there for like 2 seconds.
Oh my god, the one that says
she's trying to sell Aurelia.
Yes.
And the whole town comes and joins, and it makes me really happy every single time I watch it. I think it's the most hysterical shit because my big sister would do that.
Really?
My big sister would be like, you fucking asshole. You're not selling my sister. You fucking dick. In that situation, if I lived in that kind of family, Yeah.
I just thought she was like, so that's your sister. In the movie, though, I think she was just like, there's no way this is going down. She was in disbelief. She was setting, because I think as the viewers, we knew it was going to happen.
Well, no, because her dad goes, yeah, you can marry her. Right. You can take her.
I'll pay someone.
Yeah, I'll pay someone to take her. And then she realizes that he's there for her sister.
That's right.
And then that's when she's like, oh, he's trying to sell her. And I think it's hysterical. But I think that is the sweetest, one of the sweetest storylines. So like my ranking is Liam Neeson and Sam.
Okay.
And Joanna. I think that's top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier. Martin Freeman.
Yeah, that's my one.
Martin Freeman, gold. Amazing. And then it gets hard. Because you have the two obvious people that you like. And I really, really want to love, and we haven't talked about them yet, I really, really want to love Hugh Grant and his secretary. But I have so many problems with it because it's like so inappropriate. He literally gets her fired and moved departments because she's assaulted by the president of the United States.
Well, okay. First of all, it's one of my favorite storylines.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you said in
the iconic dancing scene alone is amazing. Yeah. I love that.
And did they recreate that in Umbrella Academy? I can't remember now. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. I think they used the song for sure.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe the same idea, but the
same je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. The thing that you said last time, which was it's an inter-office work relationship that shouldn't be happening, and that's just upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Well, and he even says it.
Yeah.
He even says it after he meets her. He's like, well, that's inconvenient.
Do you think it's forced, though? Do you think that relationship, in all of the storylines, do you think that storyline is the most forced, like, compatibility, love?
I think that part doesn't seem out of the ordinary for me.
Okay.
I do think that it was a really weird nod to Monica Lewinsky.
See, oh my God, you're not wrong.
Because look at the way that she looks.
Fair enough.
You have a Southern sounding president who makes a move on her. She's clearly flustered, doesn't know what to do.
What a crazy outlook, Demi. I don't think I've ever seen it that way.
People talked a lot about how Monica Lewinsky was bigger.
Yeah.
She is called, her boyfriend breaks up with her because she has tree trunk thighs in the movie.
That's we'll talk about that later though.
Which a whole other problem.
Yeah.
Talk about like early 2000s body dysmorphia issues that we all had.
And it's so funny. We've watched it now. I think I text you every time I watch it now, but I've watched it now so many times and I'm like, I think she's one of the most attractive characters.
She is. And and you know what it is? It's that she's not fucking gaunt.
Right.
Like she looks like a person who has had a meal.
In a previous version of my life, I used to say something along like, gosh, I hope they eat today. Because, that idea of like just incredibly thin people. I know it's an issue it's a health thing for some now that we've like developed our diets. But yeah, it does scare me that a lot of the movies from the early 2000s, the body types were all the same.
Well, I mean, it was like that heroin thin that everyone wanted to accomplish. It was high fashion to have your clavicle bones fucking jutting from your chest.
Yeah.
And it's like, and as like a woman who grew up in that time period, that's something that stuck with me forever. And like, I, even to this day, have a lot of like body dysmorphia issues.
Yeah.
I'm not big. I'm a very tiny person.
Leave it to a holiday movie to kind of make you come back to
your shit. to the fact that you're like, that woman who looks just like me is being told that she's fat the entire time this whole movie.
But that goes back to the movie itself, right? Like, look at how many things they touch up on that are still relevant to like today's day and age, right? Like our society today has a lot of this inter-office work, like romances, cheating obviously still exists.
Well, there's there's this rom-com that came out a little while ago, I think it was like last year, called The Hating Game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I haven't seen it yet.
And it's like these two people work at a publishing house and they merge. I did see it. And it's a cute movie. Yeah, it's a great movie, yeah. It's a cute movie. They fucking hate it. It's like a great enemies to lovers situation.
About that one.
But like at the same time, you're like, you guys shouldn't even be thinking about fucking.
Right. You guys are working.
Yeah.
This is a professional
This
setting.
is a professional setting.
And boy, oh boy, get me on a professional setting rant right now.
I know.
haven't had one already.
Like we haven't been talking about that over breakfast all day. but like, I mean, it's like still a very common thing, even though we've gone through the Me Too movement and we've gone through all these things where we're like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. And we have all these laws. But I mean, I guess for a lot of people, it's acceptable. And a lot of people were like, oh, I met my spouse at work.
Well, there's this, what's the statistic?
But it's also about like, you should go to HR, you should claim your relationship, you should make sure that everything is above board, there's consent. No one can be, because I mean, I think in the state of California, you can't even date a subordinate because there's no consent.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely true. I want to say there's more legalese to it too, though. I also want to say there's waiver claims. I want to say depending on the company as well, there's a lot of gray area because I've written a few handbooks in my time, and like that's usually the first.
I've been
thing.
to HR. Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually the first because whenever you get to a new job, what's the first thing you do? You start figuring out the types of people, and like great example, Prime Minister, newly elected.
Gets introduced to his whole staff.
At the same time.
You go down the line.
Yeah. And then, of course, and so this is where I get conflicted with his storyline sometimes, or at least little snippets. The part where he's like, yeah, I got to get to know everyone. And like this.
But I'm only going to focus on the hot girl.
But I was going to, yeah, the lady works with you. You, of course, like you see her the most. What do you, like that should just be a natural thing, let alone you haven't been briefed on people.
Yeah. Like you don't have a dossier on everyone. Yeah. It's the you're the fucking prime minister, bro.
Yeah. Like,
but I think he has my favorite weird connection.
Okay.
Of Emma Thompson being his sister.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite connection because it's really funny because she even talks about it. She was like, it's it really puts your life in perspective when your little brother is the prime minister. And you don't think about those people who have to be the siblings of those people.
Well, and like my thing with that is, and the empatheticness in both of us, it's just like, she's hurting so bad at that time. At that when she says that line, that's the kid's costume, that's the party. She's going into this thing by herself already.
She's doing all of this like unnoticed labor.
Right. Which is made apparent throughout the movie.
Which is made so apparent throughout the movie. And this is like before we ever had conversations around like, what is the actual term for it?
When you're
when you do like it's I should know this as a woman. It's basically like when you do all of like the work in the home and no one ever notices. And no one cares. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I was gonna say like the womanly duties attitude where like people are like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do as a housewife. And I'm like, I never understood that, but like
no, because you're not a dick.
Right. Well, thank you. I try. I also like to just I think I'm a little controlling. I am
so OCD.
Yeah, and if I had a team...
It's because I'm ADHD, so like I have to have systems in place or else I can't get anything accomplished.
I'm a very like, oh, that wasn't already pre-set up or I didn't
If you can't tell by the way this podcast goes, I'm super ADHD.
I was like, yeah, if you can't... Like for me, if it's not... The thing's not close to set up or set up for me to actually start it, then I'm like, done. Never going to touch it. Yeah, but... That's the thing, like going back to like if I had a team or if I had people or I had this and like, she had no one.
She had no one.
She had no team.
She had no one.
She didn't have an advisor.
At all.
She didn't
And then she also has Liam Neeson's character who's like leaning on her.
Stuff. Yeah.
And giving her emotional labor to do with him. And then when she answers the phone and she's like, it's not that I'm not totally sorry that your wife just died, but I have to go.
Yeah. It's funny though. I realized like there's some strong women in this movie when you think about it, because even the prime minister, Hugh Grant's character, his cabinet, I forget her name at the moment, she's just boom, boom, boom. We'll go to Harry. Harry's team is mainly female, and like they're like definitely led by like they lead themselves and they handle their own stuff. Even the assistant, which we'll get into, she handles her stuff. And then of course there's Hugh Grant, her with and then I'm trying to think like even Aurelia taking the initiative to like kind of handle her own shit and like also jumping into a lake to just pick up and let's just talk
I love the eels comment because I wouldn't have even thought of eels in a lake. I'm thinking snakes.
Jumped in for that shit. I'm sorry.
Thinking snakes, maybe because my dad is like the southern kind of history, but like I think snakes. I think water moccasins. I think absolutely not. I'm not getting in that murky fucking water.
That's where my thing. Like
I don't want to swim with fish.
The whole like
I'm okay.
Stripping down too was interesting. An interesting way to go back. Like I get it, you're gonna jump to the water, but I wouldn't have even jumped in. I'm sorry, language barrier, no language barrier. I don't think I love someone that much to jump in and save a bunch of paperwork that's getting soaked.
I don't think I've ever loved a job enough to jump into a fucking lake that I know has eels in it. Because that's the thing. Right. She knows that there's eels. She even says,
yeah.
She even says, sorry.
Jumps in. So
sorry.
Do you think Aurelia fell in love with him before the whole like the break, the holiday break? The Christmas
what
break?
I think it was? I think that she felt bad for him.
Damn.
I think that she felt bad for him, and like I think that she was probably an empath, and she, when the way that her family seems to be set up, women are in that caretaking role.
You're right.
And so she probably wanted to take care of him.
She does say that line, like, I'm going to miss, like, when she's saying goodbye to him.
Yeah, and she's like the click-clacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are very endearing, but she knows that, like, she's acknowledging his space with her. And I think that's kind of important. You're right. She is the caretaker, obviously, given the job title, and going back into interoffice relationships.
And I mean, and he even when they first meet, he's just getting out of a breakup, and he tells that woman who is another strong woman who's running these houses, finds him a housekeeper, and is like, oh yeah, it was. She was like, oh, alone again. He was like, yeah, it was supposed to be someone else, but it's not.
Dang, I wonder how many times this has happened. Makes you wonder if you're just picking a bad character,
Yeah.
Do you think but yeah,
sounds like my love life. But no, I going back to the Prime Minister, I think.
And this is your top one, right? This is your number one storyline, like you love.
No.
Which
number one is Sam.
Got it. That's right.
Little boy.
Right.
And because I think it's the most pure. It's not, because it's not motivated by anything other than I fell in love with this girl because I think she's so magnetic and she's so talented and she's so sweet, and he's just gone through this crazy loss.
Well, see, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because I go between the two. I'm like, is he too young to realize the loss, or is he just?
I think he had
I
think that he had a great example of what real love looks like, and he wanted something like that.
Got it. So like,
because the way that Liam Neeson talks about his mother,
oh yeah,
and the way that, oh my God, that funeral scene breaks your heart
every time.
Oh yeah, when it goes bye bye baby, baby goodbye, and you're like, take my heart. Cut it out of my chest. I could watch a movie just about. Actually, that would have been a great spinoff. Why the fuck didn't they give me that? Why the fuck did they not give me Liam Neeson meeting that woman, falling in love with her, and getting that great love that leads to that fucking scene?
Because they want you to show. They need to establish loss.
Well, I know, but I want a spinoff.
Fair enough.
I don't need it. I don't need it to be in the movie. I'm sorry. This is before the Hollywood franchise machine. Apparently,
fair enough.
This is probably right when it started.
Miniseries of all the individual.
They already have a musical. They can have anything else.
Fair enough.
I can't believe they have a musical, and I hate it.
Watch the musical.
I don't want to see it.
No,
I've heard it's awful.
No, we have to watch it.
No,
we have to try.
So, okay, listen, there are so many great original musicals and music books out there. Stop making them after movies. Stop.
You don't think Spider-Man was good?
I never saw it. I don't want to. I'm done with Marvel, dude.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, that's rough right now.
And you know what the thing is?
I said that yesterday too to a friend. I was like, you know what, man? I think I'm done with just Marvel movies.
Well,
I think I'm done with superhero movies.
I feel bad for kids who want to get into it, because now it's like you have to watch 27 fucking films that take up so much of your life, and then you got to watch a series, and you got to watch this to understand any of the references and the new stuff. And you know what? I will say, shout out to Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson. They are going to help reinvent that entire fucking franchise, because they did an amazing job with Loki season 2.
Yeah,
I know Aaron. Aaron is an amazing person. He's very kind. He's very sweet. And they also did a great job with Moon Knight.
I liked the first season. I know. Is there a second season come out?
Moon Knight?
Second season coming? No?
I don't think so. But I think they also just got the reins for Daredevil.
Yeah.
And their style, I mean, they come from more of an indie background. And so they're bringing that like kind of weirdness and mystery to Marvel. And I think that's what it needs to break out of that cheesy mold.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love that we've just gone off on a tangent about
rails,
Marvel now. But
we'll fix that later. No, but going back to Hugh Grant, right? Hugh Grant and what's her name again in the movie?
Natalie.
That's right. Let's talk about
the scene where he runs down the entire street, and then him and his fucking security guy do Christmas carols for those kids, and the look that Hugh Grant gives him when he hits that like deep bass note, he's like, the fuck? Like, and I love it. I love everything about that scene. And I think that's the reason why you root for them so much, is because you've just seen the leader of a country humble himself by going through the cheap side of a town.
The dodgy side.
And you're like, oh, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that big of a gesture?
Right. I mean,
and also, first of all, like, if that man wanted to make someone else do the work to find her for him, he could have. But he wanted to go find her in that moment and doesn't even think to ask someone else to do it.
Real quick on that Aurelia storyline too, though. Remember, he's like going down and he knows the exact house and everything. The fact that that guy can do it after dropping off at the airport, being like, "We'll never see each other again," kind of feeling. To the prime, that's my big. I always have an issue with that. You have a team ready for you to drive at any time, but you can't get someone from the office to be like,
"Oh, I have her personnel file. Here's her address."
As a prime minister, you need to flex when you need to flex.
And the way that little tart from the office answers the door and goes, "Oh no, she lives next door."
What a subtle like nod to the filmmaking, right? What a subtle like just, and she's wearing the necklace, if I'm not mistaken.
She is wearing the necklace.
And like, again, elation, happiness, joy, boom.
That actress does such a good job. That actress who plays her does such a good job because you hate her all the way through.
I don't hate her.
I do.
I don't hate her.
I do because of her smugness, because it comes off as manipulation more so than it comes off as genuine interest.
I think I don't disagree. That's a very solid point. But my thing with that is that this is a woman who clearly, maybe she's picking from the wrong barrel. Maybe she is going for someone she shouldn't have.
Maybe.
Sure. But
she has a dad who did the same exact situation, and that's what she's just repeating a pattern.
Fair enough. But for my mind, I'm like, I understand, and cheating is such a hot button topic, right? People have different definitions. There's different boundary things. Even in this society today,
there's non-monogamy. There's all sorts of stuff.
So cheating has definitions now, has different meanings. But for me, it's like Harry needed to put that. His coyness, his playfulness, his flirtation, that's all apparent throughout the movie. And also look how bluntly he talks. Sorry, name's escaping me. How he bluntly talks to what's-her-face about the other inter-office relationship that
Sarah isn't that her name, Sarah?
And like, it's crazy
about her and Carl.
Carl, thank you. I was like, her and Carl. I was gonna leave with that.
That man's so hot, though. I would have fallen in love with him too.
I mean, have we even talked about that scene yet?
We talked about the beginning, but we have not talked about. Oh, your heart breaks for her. Your heart breaks for her because, like, as someone, my nephew is severely autistic. Mm-hmm. He's nonverbal. Mm. And I think about that while I watch that scene, because if you're the sole caretaker for a person who does not have their mental faculties and is a bit unhinged, you can't not pick up the phone. It could be a really big issue. It could be that facility calling you to say that something awful has happened.
Oh, yeah.
It could be so many things.
You have to take that call.
It could be so many things. Yeah. And not only that, you also have the scene where she goes to visit him because she's like, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And you can... And he tries to hit her, and you can tell, and she's just so patient, and she's so soft with him. And you're like, that's why this woman has never been able to take a leap. It's because she doesn't have the space.
The emotional, yeah.
The physical. Time, yeah. And the thing is like, I feel like no one in her life at the office maybe knows that, which is why they don't get why she hasn't gone forward, because that's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about when you have someone in your life that you have to take care of all the time because you don't want to sound like you're complaining.
And like go back to like again going back to the early 2000s, right? We weren't really talking about these kind of things yet. So imagine the viewers, the only people who could really connect were probably people who were in the similar situation. And it goes back to this movie's made for everyone. Again, love this fucking movie. I really
do. Like the more we talk about it and like break it down, the more I'm like, I do really love this movie. However, like it doesn't necessarily hold up.
Has anyone done a cut of just like, and I don't know all the terms, but like, has anyone ever done a cut of like each person's storyline without the filler?
I don't think so, but that would be really interesting to see.
Someone find that if it's
Somebody
possible.
do that.
That would be really interesting to see.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Shout out to that person when they do it.
Yeah. But I think it would be really interesting to see what their dating app presences would be.
I've thought about that so much. Bring it full circle, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, let's talk about Hugh Grant's character, right?
Yeah.
What does like his dating app look like? Like, what does his Hinge profile look like? Right. You know what I mean? Like, where, like, especially like before he gets elected, right? Is it like George Santos on fucking Grindr? like, is he like, I'm just a silly little politician?
LOL. Out here in these streets politicking.
My mom's a survivor of 9/11. God, fucking crazy person. I love his cameos though. I'm really, I have to say, TikTok, really vibing with the cameos from George Santos.
But that's a question. If that's a fair question, I'm not sure if we want to keep this or not. But like, what dating profile do you think he's on? Before
I think before he's elected, he's either a Hinge or a Raya man.
I have no.
What's Raya? So
I don't date. Clearly,
no one should. We should all just walk through life alone. She says, not bitterly. So listen, I love myself in my own time. And also, guess what? If I go traveling and I have someone at my house, it's not gonna be clean when I get home. I'm good. So I think Raya is like you have to be accepted.
Got it.
You have to be high class enough.
Got it.
You have to be important enough.
Got it.
To be on there, supposedly. So and then you also have to pay. Then. You have to pay.
Well, that makes sense.
I think it's like $20 a month.
Can you imagine like the PR team like, look, Mr. Prime Minister, we're going to go ahead and set you up with this Raya account. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
But I think I feel like he's a guy's guy. And he's like a man of the people.
I don't think
And so I feel like he'd be on Hinge. I hate Hinge.
I really do think he'd be on Tinder.
Really?
Yeah. I really do think.
I think, well, we all know that Harry's on Ashley Madison. We all know.
Oh my gosh. So is
we
she.
All know. So is she. No, she's on Seeking Arrangement. That's what she's on.
Who's on Craigslist?
Martin Freeman. But
I can't imagine. Like, hey guys,
he's like,
I'm just
would
looking for a
love
friend.
stand-in work. Also, would love someone to love me. Sincerely.
eHarmony is definitely not is Liam Neeson's character.
Or Match.com.
Yeah, or Match.com. Yeah,
Match.com.
Yeah.
I think that Colin is definitely Tinder.
Really?
1000%. Tinder's so much more for hookups.
No. What are these like? I don't know about you, but on my social medias, for some reason, I'm getting a lot more of these random dating apps.
Like Coffee Meets Bagel.
Coffee Meets Bagel. Coffee Meets Bagel is like a Martin Freeman to me.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
But the Craigslist is a not no because I can imagine seeking friends.
Seeking friends.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, especially at that time period.
Yeah.
Craigslist was actually a way that people met people.
Yeah. It's also a way you got drugs.
It was the way you got everything because you didn't have like Snapchat drug dealers.
Yeah.
But I think
now they have Twitter accounts that they.
What do you like? Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna pull up Hinge.
Do it, yeah.
I'm gonna pull up Hinge. I want to see what do you think would be like. Oh, I'm just gonna I just re-downloaded dating apps.
Yeah.
Because I don't like them. I don't believe in them. Because I have to have like a connection with someone.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Have you ever tried Facebook dating?
I'd rather die.
Okay, so
sounds terrible. I don't even like the idea of being on Facebook, but my mother likes to keep up with my life.
Dating at one point, but we'll get into that. Sorry, go on. You're already gonna pull up. I was gonna say
I'm fascinated.
I'll tell you.
What do you think? Like, what do you think his like voice prompt would be? Like if you like,
hi, your prime minister here. You know, like I don't. Yeah, maybe. Like it's definitely stuttery. It's definitely cute. But see, to me, he does that on purpose.
A secret talent of mine. It's just like a video of him dancing.
Oh my gosh. Slapping the USA president in like a meme format.
Also, can we talk about how that's Billy Bob?
You know, I forget.
Was he married to Angelina at this point?
I'm pretty sure. I think they did the whole blood vial thing too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's such a crazy story. Yeah. Talk about like an insane couple. I mean, I get it though.
Huge age gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is similar to that, right? Is there an age gap between Hugh Grant and I keep going to Sarah now.
Natalie,
thank you.
There has to be.
Right?
I mean, she's like kind of like she's a catering manager.
She's got to be 20s.
Catering manager. She has to be 20s. So like, okay, 2 truths and a lie. What would his be?
I'm the prime minister.
I'm the prime minister.
I want to think about
I'm there for my sister.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
I'm there for my sister.
I'm a family man.
I'm a family man.
Not true.
No,
that's the lie.
certainly not. I love America. That would also not be true.
I created an uproar in the monarchy. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think.
His truth would be like, I like tea and 2 sugars. I think that's what he says.
I think that's what he has.
That would be a truth. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts of their storyline is like, he's like, who do you have to fuck or something to get?
And
then she walks in and you're like, oh, that's the most 2000s bullshit, like throwaway, like setup of all time. Like it's like,
there's a few of those.
There's a few of those.
That one is the most on the nose one, but yeah.
I think that Emma Thompson's character post-divorce, I like to think that she left him.
I'd like to see. I'm glad we're bringing that back because when I listened to our stuff earlier, like I was like, oh, you know, the whole like
the scene where
we know that's not done there, right? But yeah, Emma Thompson's character.
The scene where she goes, "What would you do if you were in my position?" She's like, I've been such a fool. And you're like, your heart, you're just like watching this woman who has dedicated her entire life to this man fall apart.
Yeah.
And she's thinking, I'm such a fool.
And that's the thing, right? Like when you get hurt like that and when you are hurt like that, you do the thing. She did the thing. She blamed herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, yeah, because anytime that you are an empathetic person, I'm always the devil's advocate for the other person, never for myself.
Yeah,
I've had so many relationships end where I blame myself entirely for a very long time until like my therapist slaps me across the face with the truth.
Yeah, shout out to Rebecca, my therapist. I need to call her.
I got 2.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got group therapy.
Yeah.
Mental health.
But I do think Colin's dating profile would be the most hilarious.
Colin's would be it's funny. I don't think it'll actually be anything more than Colin's got a big dong.
I think it would be seeking non-snobby woman. Because he's so anti-snob. And he talks about that all the time. He's like, oh, I'll produce women who are snobby.
Was this before hipsters? Was this movie before hipsters?
I think this is like right on the verge of hipster. This wasn't like Portlandia time, but it was hipstery.
Okay, because I could see that if it was around that time where it's like he's the edgy guy that like doesn't date.
See, but I don't think he's edgy. I think he's just a cunt.
I think he's edgy for the setting of the movie. He's the most like adventurous.
I do like his friend. His friend who's also like the intimacy kind of coordinator. He's an AD, obviously, but like you're like, I love that you just keep popping up randomly. Like he is like that nice thread between and keeps the Martin Freeman story in
relevant. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there's not a lot tying Martin Freeman to the rest of everyone else except for that AD and the fact that they show up at the school.
Right.
So I don't know. At the end of the day, all things considered, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I really, really do. Mm-hmm. I think it's very well done. However, It's not my favorite Christmas film.
It's not mine. Yeah.
You know, because there's always that debate: Love Actually or The Holiday. The Holiday for me, that's it.
Really?
I love The Holiday. I love it so much. I love Jack Black. I love him.
It's just a cute
movie. It's just a cute movie. Yeah. And you don't have all it. Like, I mean, Mr. Napkinhead alone is one of my favorites. And, you know, I understand why people compare the two. I mean, they came out around the same time.
Right.
But I mean, that inspired like a bunch of people to be like, oh my God, I should house swap. I should do this. Why don't more people do that? I think that's really cool. And I do love this movie. I've had a lot of great times watching this movie. I think it is a bit long.
Yeah.
But you kind of need it to flush out all the storylines.
It's like 30 minutes too long for me.
Yeah.
But
you could trim a bit.
Yeah.
You could trim a bit.
And I would trim the parts that I, of course, personally
that I hate.
Love. Yeah.
that I hate.
Of course.
Like I don't know. I really love it. At the end of the day, I still give it like I'll give it like a 4 out of 5. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 for enjoyment factor.
I know it's out there. I want to rank each storyline, but
no, as a whole, what would you think? Because I think for me,
you're not gonna like it. It's 3.5.
How much? 3.5
movie.
3.5. I was thinking 3.75, but I was like, there's no such thing as a 3.75. Pie.
Yeah.
I vote this as pie. But I don't know. What have you been watching lately?
Oh man, I've been watching. I'm upset with Home Alone. I've been watching holiday movies, obviously. I've just been watching holiday movie after holiday movie, and you're gonna love this one. But I always go to Jingle All the Way, which is what I just saw. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sinbad, and I forget at the time it's the Anakin from Phantom Menace. I forget his name right now.
Oh, what is his name?
Yeah, but he's he played Anakin.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what I've been into. That's what I've
with
been
Keira Knightley.
Yeah, actually. That was good.
Fire!
Yeah, that was good. Wait. Sorry, break.
So okay, so we were watching Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, and all I want is a fucking dope ass suit. To be honest, everything in that movie sucks, but I want a dope ass suit that did all that stuff.
I hadn't seen that movie until like last year.
There's a part 2.
I'd rather die
with Larry the Cable Guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Larry the Cable Guy. Okay, I might watch it just for him.
I don't know if
he's one of those people that I will watch just about anything he's in because I do think he's really funny. And it's not even more so that he's funny. I think he's just like, if my dad were a happier person, that's what he would be like.
You know what's crazy? I think my dad would be a happy person. Like that.
Like if my dad were a happier person, I feel like him and Larry the Cable Guy would be one.
They'd just be homies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be close. You'd have 2 dads.
Yeah. It'd be like, oh, this is Larry and my dad.
Yeah.
They're best buds. But I don't really like Christmas films that much. I love the claymation Rudolph.
That's a good one.
I watch that every Thanksgiving to get me in the mood. I do also really like Annabelle's Christmas Wish. It's the one about the cow who wants to be a reindeer. And it's an animated film. And I really loved it when I was a kid. And it makes me really happy, even though it's really dumb. But it's like one of those movies that's just for kids. I also like the Beauty and the Beast that's like Christmas edition.
Oh, okay.
Because Belle was like the only princess that I like ever identified with because she loves to read and she's a brunette.
Do you cycle through these movies for the holiday?
No.
No. Okay. So
they're just ones that I know that I love.
Yeah, I watch the same ones every year for sure.
Yeah, I always watch Home Alone.
Christmas Story.
Classics.
I have to watch A Christmas Story. Santa Claus. Usually the first one is where I stop.
I guess there's like a new one coming out, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was at the fucking Century City Mall and they'd had like a pop-up skating rink and shit for it. And I was like, God, fucking Disney and their marketing budget just has to stop. Stop doing this in LA. Do it in like another town.
Or how about just invite people to actual skating rinks?
Oh my God.
God forbid we need to help those businesses too.
The way that I want to go to a skating rink. And I don't want to go to the stupid track in the Grove.
I can't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Stupid.
I can't ice skate.
Oh, I grew up ice skating.
And I posted I can't ice skate. So if you follow me, you'll see that I can't ice skate. Just so you know.
Okay.
It's deep in there.
I'll have to go through that. Okay.
So yeah, no, I can't ice skate for the life of me, but it is a part of the holidays for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are these like traditions and things like that. And like, yeah, so what I've been watching right now are the quote unquote good holiday movies.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. And the only reason why I say quote unquote is because I said Jingle All the Way was a good movie. We know it's not.
It's
but
not.
I fucking love it.
It's not, but I do love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love that man. Kindergarten Cop made me so happy when I was a kid.
I saw that movie a lot too.
Yeah. Kindergarten Cop and Big Daddy were like two films that I watched over and over again forever.
I have not rewatched Big Daddy in a long time, but I can probably tell you every scene.
Yeah.
You know, the peeing on the building will always be the highlight.
Somebody get this kid a fucking Happy Meal. It's like iconic. And my mom used to say that all the time.
I was going to say, what's crazy, not a parent, that's what my parents did.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what a first-time parent would do with their kids.
Yeah.
You know, hey, forgive your parents for some stuff, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, like,
I'm the youngest of four. They had plenty of practice.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I was
they were just over it by the time they had me.
But yeah, like, it's interesting. Other holiday movies that you're into right now, what else are you watching? Or what else have you watched? Non-holiday even.
Okay, so whenever I'm stressed, I watch cooking shows. So I've been rewatching Top Chef.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because you like that like anxiety and the like.
I like
the fast cuts.
Well, I'm a big cook and I love the control that I have in the kitchen. I don't like other people in the kitchen with me. Like when people are like, oh, I can't wait to have someone to cook dinner with. No. Get out of my kitchen.
It's cute.
Either you're cooking for me or I'm cooking for you. There's no in between.
It is.
You can do some mise en place for me.
No, I'll do my own prep work. I don't like anyone do my prep work.
See what I mean?
I know, but like
you don't like it though. No, because everyone has no.
But
no,
hear me out. I want to defend this.
Okay,
I'm gonna defend this. I meal prep with my partner, and it's a good time. We both cook our own thing. It's separate.
See, but you're cooking your own thing.
But we're like,
you're cooking your own thing.
Same space, and I think that's a good practice.
It's not that I'm talking about like when you're cooking a meal for the two of you.
I would like to take the lead.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Like I'm a great cook.
What's a good cooking movie?
I'm not risking the fact that you want to help.
What's a good cooking movie you've seen in the last whatever amount of time?
Oh God. 100-foot journey. It's either that or 1,000-foot journey. Either way, it's Helen Mirren. Amazing. Love her. Who is that guy? This amazing Indian actor. His name is escaping me, but he is a very, very talented chef, and his Indian family moves across from this Michelin-starred restaurant in France.
You're gonna have to link this to me.
And it's amazing, and it's a very underrated film, and it makes me very happy. And he basically like starts to learn because this woman who works across the street at the Michelin-starred restaurant gives him French cooking books. Man. And he starts like to learn how to cook French food.
I love it already.
And then he ends up like his family opens this restaurant. It gets very popular. Some racists try and burn it down.
Fun.
Because
as one
racism.
Would. Yeah.
And
it's not real.
So then Helen Mirren's character has him make her an omelet. And she goes, okay, you can work here. And then she turns the corner and she melts thinking about this omelet. And she's like, oh my God, he's actually so amazing. Cause she had also been against the other restaurant. Mainly, but then when she realizes that like this racism has occurred, and mind you, he instructs her how to do the omelet because his hands are burned from trying to save his family's restaurant during the fire. It's a crazy good movie, and I love it. I love it. No notes. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, you got to send it to me now.
I will send it to you. Absolutely.
No notes. Like, I mean, yeah. That's
I mean, I'm sure there is a note if I were to watch it because I am crazy. But I do love that film a lot. So I've been watching a lot of Top Chef. I did recently watch the Mother God documentary. Mm-hmm. You should watch that. It's crazy. I love a good cult. Cults are fascinating to me.
Yeah, my TikTok thread is just all cult related stuff or like cult related stuff.
Yeah, I'm reading this book right now about this woman in France who it's like way back in the day. Her husband was like a failing artist, 20 years her senior, and she fucking kills him to reinvent herself because she was like, I'm not going to be able to live once you die. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a real page turner. Real big fan.
Now I got to get that too. You're into some interesting stuff right now.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm a nerd. I got a lot of different interests. Me, Baldur's Gate, and true crime.
Baldur's Gate and true crime.
And cooking.
Yeah. Speaking of cooking and holidays, the holidays are coming up. Mm-hmm. Hint. And you actually are putting together a party of sorts.
We talked about that.
What's on the menu for that again?
I do my mom's pineapple brown sugar ham.
Yeah.
So I make a pineapple brown sugar glaze.
Rad.
I always get my ham from Whole Foods because I am an uppity bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If I'm buying meat, it's gonna be good meat.
You should. Everyone should.
That should be something that you invest in. You can skip on a lot of other things because a lot of the things are just the same thing, different packaging. And then I'm making broccoli casserole, which is this old woman who lived behind my grandmother. It's her recipe, and I make it every year, and it makes me really happy. Broccoli casserole. Listen, it's a Midwestern thing. You just dump cheese and heavy cream into everything in your life, and that just works. Sick. Jalapeno popper mac and cheese.
Go on.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you put actual jalapeno poppers in the mac and cheese?
No. So I dice up jalapenos and onion, and then you kind of like cook them in the butter with some garlic, and some spices, which I will not reveal all my secrets. And then in the cheese mix, there's also cream cheese, Gruyere, Monterey Jack, pepper jack.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of different cheeses. It's real cheesy. It's delicious.
Love it.
And then cranberry walnut salad with feta and a homemade vinaigrette. And
man, I'm hungry.
I'm doing like these potato puffs that I've been practicing how to make that I wanted to learn.
Pommes frites?
Pommes frites? Yeah. No, not pommes frites, but yes, potato. Yeah. And they basically have a filling of a broccoli cheddar bechamel.
Okay.
So I'm making those.
You're making a bechamel.
A bechamel. And I'm really excited because I love cooking for the people that I love. And then like a giant cheese board.
So you don't travel for the holidays then? Or have you before? Or just,
no.
You don't do any like...
I like to visit my family when I'm the holiday.
Fair enough.
Because then no one can fight with me unnecessarily.
Got it.
That's kind of my jam.
So you don't have to visit your family in a while, I take it? No. Got it. Yeah, same.
It's just there's too much there.
Yeah, it's funny when
knowing your boundaries and like knowing what you need to do for you is very important. Yeah. I moved out really young.
And like, it's funny when you do figure out your boundaries, when you do feel like your breaking point, and when you get to breaking point, how you need to like change the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to like get out of something or change something up. And like, a good segue to like the holiday as a movie, right? Mm-hmm.
Which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that on our next episode.
Fantastic.
And it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be great.
I'm really stoked because I love that movie, as I've said.
Jack
Black!
Yeah.
Peaches. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. That's a good one.
Something bells are ringing.
I always like to like interject trap noises in the middle of those classic. I'll be like, buh, buh, buh.
Yeah. I'm gonna like have like sleigh bells or that slapping thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit's good.
Well, thanks for sharing some time with me.
Same. All right.
See you later.
Oh, perfect.
Right, that was good. Yeah.